Just call me a little scrubber. And the reason you can call me a little scrubber is because I've been scrubbing this Powerglide for hours. Remember how awful it looked in the first video where we unboxed it? It was absolutely covered in black paint. Oh, it's nothing worse than trying to get black paint off, especially a cream coloured machine. But I have to say, it's come up rather well. Look at that. Oh, nothing. This bottom was absolutely covered in black. I'll just flash up a couple of pictures that I took just to show you how bad it was. And as you can see, all gone, looking really nice. I am really pleased with how this has come up. I've got to be very careful with this panel here because the printed gold lettering, it's a little bit delicate. So even if I try and get this little bit of white off with my finger, I'm sort of taking the printing off with it. So yeah, I've got to be really, really careful. So yeah, with the machine all lovely and clean, we now need to take it apart and service the motor. One of the other thing that I noticed as well, because I think it had either been used without a bag or the bag that had been used in it had burst. All of the dirt that sort of got into the sides of the case. Now from memory, this body here is actually two halves. Very much like the Freedom was, but unlike Freedom, this is not screwed. It's clipped, unfortunately. I think that's going to be very difficult to get apart, but we shall try. We will give it a go. So the first thing we need to do is to take the motor out. Whew, better crack on. In order to get the motor out of these, you have to remove the back panel. And there are 4 screws, so let's whip those out. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. There's already a screw missing. Beg your pardon, there's actually 6 screws. I quite like the way that they've done this, actually, because it means you can very quickly change the flex, which is lovely. So let's just remove... Oh, God, that is... Oh, I don't think I can even undo that. That is really tight. I think some water may have got in here at some point and everything has started to rust, which is not ideal. Oh no. I don't know if I can actually undo these. Oh, I've got the live. Oh, flipping heck. Don't think I can get the neutral. No, that screw's gone now. Okay, I'm going to have to leave that. Can I get this one out? Can I get this side off? Oh, yeah, might be able to. That might make it a little bit easier. Oh, no, that screw's gone. So that's brilliant, isn't it? So we've got 4 screws here. This one's gone and this one's gone. So I can remove the live on this side and I can remove the neutral on this side, but that's pretty much all I can do. So fan-bloody-tastic. I think what we might do actually is just cut this out. So we will re-terminate this. We'll use a new terminal block because this is rusty as hell. So let's get severe on this. Let's get rid of this little chock block because that is absolutely knackered. So that can go in the bin. Keep the screw, put that in the bin. And now we can carry on disassembling it. Let's take the cable out, get the flex out of the way. So there should be a screw here. That's actually loose. So it would appear someone's been in here before us. Okay, so that's the screws then done. Now we should be able to just remove this end. And oh, there we go. There's the backwards motor, and there's the inside of the. And I'm throwing the screws on the floor now. Idiot! What an idiot! Oh Lord. Oh, do you know what? Actually, oh, we can take the panel off now. That's cool. Let's get rid of the panel. Well, it certainly helps us to clean the machine, doesn't it? Do you know what? I think actually we may need to. Oh no, it's okay. We can pull the motor out. I think. Can we pull this out? Yeah, I think we can pull this out. Okay. There we go. So that's the motor free. We don't need to take these off. Right, there we go. Yeah, here we go. Here's the famous backwards Hoover motor, which is absolutely bloody awful. Let's put that down there, and then we can see inside. And that's inside the motor chamber. Not really much going on in there, but we can give it a quick clean actually. There we go. Now that mount, I don't know if you can you see the mount there? Hang on. If I shine that down, yeah, you see the mount there. It's kind of gone a bit wonky. See this bit here? It's sort of been pushed over. So that needs to be rectified. Yeah, oh, we've still got the horrific task of getting this body apart. To be honest, I don't know if we can, but anyway, let's put that down here for now, and then we will turn our attention to servicing this god-awful thing. I don't know how familiar you guys are with these motors. Oh, look how rusty that is. That's really gone rusty. I mean, this poor machine has been kept in a very damp place, or some idiot has picked up water with it. So let's just give this a quick clean off first of all. Right. Well, this is going to be interesting. We need to get these screws out of the motor end frame, and they are rusted. That one's definitely very rusted. That one's very rusted as well. Didn't clean that off particularly well, did I? There we go. Yeah, so much like the terminal block, we've got two screws that I'm not sure we can even take out. So that's not ideal. Oh, dearie me. Right, okay. Now, one top tip for you here, guys. When you're working on these motors and you're going to take them apart, it's very important to mark them. So just mark how they went together. So just put like a line, and put the line on the rubber mount as well. So you make sure that everything goes back together in exactly the same place. And you have to mark it here as well, because there's a very small piece of fan case metal that you can see there. I don't even know if you can see that on the camera. But yeah, it all has to line up again. And if you don't line it all up properly, you will have a hell of a time trying to get it A, back into one piece, and B, back into the cleaner. So let's remove that mount. We can put that over there. We're also going to have to, we're also going to have to remake the loom as well, because we're going to lose this suppressor. We don't need the suppressor. So we can take that off. Let's just get rid of that. Take that wire out there and take that down there. There we go. So that can go. We don't need that anymore. This suppressor needs to come off, and it is just a simple screw and nut. So let's see if we can get that off. Where's my bigger screwdriver? There it is. Good, and now we can lose the suppressor before that explodes and blows a fuse. Let's get rid of that. It's your atypical barrel style suppressor. There he is. Bin. And now we can break this off. It's not the best way of doing it, and then we want to save that washer before it gets stuck in the field coil. Thank you very much. Now we can break this off. There we go. It finally came off in the end. And we are left with our bare motor. So, okay, let's try and get these carbon brushes out. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Got virtually no screws left. No, see, this is not going well at all, because I cannot get these bloody screws out. That is not going anywhere. That is too rusted. And I suspect this one's going to be the same. Oh no, oh God, we are in luck with that one. We are in luck with that one. My God. Be interesting to see how much carbon brush is left. That'll give us an indication of how much the machine's being used. God, it's stuck. Come on. Come on. It's all rusted in place. This is the trouble. There we go. Oh, wow, look at that. There's a lot of carbon brush left there. A lot. So I don't think the machine's had that much use, to be honest. And the commutator doesn't seem to be that worn. Oh, the bearings are really tight. Oh, really tight, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to struggle along a minute and see if I can get this screw out. Well, that's good. That did come out in the end, but that's definitely going to need to be replaced. There's absolutely nothing left on that. Let's take this one out. And remove this brush. Ah, now. That was going to stop. So it's good that we did this, because that brush is stuck in its holder. Look at that. Really stuck. So at some point the machine was going to stop due to a stuck brush. Let me free that up. Yes, we can. Yeah, I'll give that a bit of a proper clean up, I think. Because what's happened is all the dust has got into the brush mechanism. And it's just making the brush stick. You can see. That's a bit better. It's a bit freer now, so that's good. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's better. Good-o. Okay, so now we need to take this bad boy apart. Now, there's 4 screws around the fan casing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing we do is to undo all of those. And with those 4 screws taken out, we can now start to disassemble the fan case. So we take off the... Will it come? No, of course it won't come, because it's got wet and it's rusted. So we need to separate the fan cases very carefully. So we don't want to bend the metal too much. Oh, there we go. Good. Right. So that's the larger of the cases removed. You can see here, look, it's so rusty. All the rust is just making it stick. Now, there's the second fan here, as you can see. And you can see now that the vanes are going that way, and the whole of the fan is on the other side. So it's drawing the air in this way. So what we need to do now is take a break, because we need to get some WD-40, good old WD-40, spray it on the nut, and let that do its business. So we shall come back later when that has soaked in. Well, that's been soaking for a while, but unfortunately there's absolutely no way we're going to get this nut off, because because I can't grip the fan particularly well. And there's a risk that you'll end up breaking it. What you're meant to do, what Hoover's idea was, which is really stupid, was that you're meant to put the spanner on like that and then put the screwdriver in the little slit like so, which is meant to hold the armature in place, and then you undo it, but it doesn't work because all that's going to happen is the screwdriver is just going to split this metal here, and you're going to end up ruining the thread on the end of the armature. So we have to cheat now, and this is really annoying because we actually have to undo it a different way. You see these two things here? Hang on, where's my brush? I've got one here and one here. These are the ends of the bolts that run all the way down here to the back of the fan casing. And there's two nuts which are here and here, which are flush with this casing. So what we're trying to do here is to take off this, take off the fan, take off the fan casing, take off the second fan, take out the spacers, which then exposes the two nuts at the bottom, which we can then undo, which allows us to get inside this. It actually separates it, so you're just left with this piece here, which is the actual motor itself. But we can't do it because we can't get the bloody fans off. So now we have to cheat, and this is, this is one of the many reasons why I hate these motors. We now have to try and undo these. No, I'm not sure if this is going to be able to, if I'm going to be able to do it even by turning these. Oh God, and they're so tight. So we're basically undoing it the wrong way. But this takes forever. So I'm going to turn you off, and then we'll come back when I've hopefully got these undone. Well, after a lot of fighting, we can now remove these bolts. So that's the bolts out. Look at them. They're massive, great big things. Let's put them over there. Let's add them to our pile. Now, hopefully we can split the motor like so and have our two separate bits, which is great. And there should be two springs. Yep, there's one spring and there's another spring. So those springs are what the field coil rests on. It kind of floats in place. And there we go. You can see the field and the top bearing down there. It's just a brass sleeve bearing, which is not great. I mean, the last thing you want to do is expose a brass sleeve bearing to all the dirt and the crap that's coming through this motor, especially when these machines were notorious for breaking their dust bags. I put this back on to save the fan, and I'm going to take it off again. Okay, good. Right, flipping heck, Jesus. Oh, so now I can grip the armature with my left hand, and with my right hand I can hopefully undo this. Oh, yes, got it. That is so tight. Good God, that is tight. Yeah, so that's our nut removed. We'll keep that in the spanner. And now we've got an ungodly amount of spacers. So we've got a compression washer, and then we've got a normal washer. Then we've got the fan. The fan with the spider on top, like so. That can go there. Then we have a large spacer. Then we have a cylindrical spacer, which is probably not going to come out. Then we can remove the second stage of the fan casing. Then we are left with another fan. Let's get some more WD-40 on this. Do you see why These are absolute nightmares to work on. Absolute bloody nightmares. In fact, you know what? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this off. Big boy grips. Big boy grips. Oh, God, no. Ow. Ow. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. No, that's not gonna, that ain't gonna come off, I'm afraid. That is absolutely stuck. You can see how rusted it is, and the rust is running all the way down inside here. It's rusted to the shaft, it's rusted to the spacer. It won't have rusted to the fan, obviously, because that's a aluminium fan, or an aluminum fan for our American viewers. But that is going to stay there. That is going to stay there. If I show you just how rusty that is, look at that shaft. What a beauty. But yeah, that is absolutely rusted in place. But it's all right, because we can actually get to the bearing from this side. You can see the bearing down there. So let's get some oil on that and free it up. Kind of got to go in this way. It's a bit messy, but one's got to do what one's got to do. It's not very easy to turn. If I turn it over, because those oh Christ, how are we going to get the nuts done up? Oh, just, yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to go back on myself and say that this actually does have to come off, because we've got to take this fan off in order to satisfactorily reassemble the motor. We need to get to the nuts that are hiding behind the fan, and if we can't do that, we have to do them up using these, which never works. So I'm going to go offline again and try and get this off. So wish me luck.